Oh, sookie now. Welcome back to Black Bear News, where everything is connected. How y'all feeling? Good to see y'all. Thanks everybody for hanging out with me every day on the interwebs. Thanks to all the supporters, monetary and otherwise. I appreciate you. I know I have ongoing sound issues, and thanks everybody for the suggestions and for the feedback. Trying to make it better. All right. It is chilly in Pasadena. That's right. That is right. It's getting, although it's a little warmer. Actually, the sun is out. Man, it has been. It has been ridiculously cold for Pasadena, not for other places, but when the high is 45 degrees, that is very, very chilly for this neck of the woods, and not at all enjoyable for the people that live here. Because gotta like turn on the heat and stuff. But the sun is out. I'm getting a little bit of radiative heating in my inside of my studio, so that's nice. When the sun is beating down on the roof of my studio and it's generally a chilly day, it'll give me a little greenhouse effect inside the studio, which I appreciate. I get a little bit of natural heating. But yeah, it's chilly and it doesn't look like it's going to warm up anytime soon. We're going to remain in a wintry state for, it looks like, for a couple weeks. Anyways, that's what's happening in the weather. And callers, if you could hold your calls until the end of the show. I apologize, Brady. Thanks for listening. I know sometimes it's frustrating for the people on call-in because it's a call-in app, but I'm actually running a stream on 2 other channels. So call-in, and I do enjoy running the stream on call-in. However, call-in is not just on call-in. So I try to reserve the call-in portion of the show for later in the show because there's things, that I want to discuss in the beginning of the show. Just to clarify, if anybody is, upset about that or confused about that, I apologize in advance. Do something. We're going to talk about, I try to bring in, solution, minded articles or people or ideas. It can't be all doom all the time. And there are people out there that are really making an effort, and I appreciate the people that are making an effort. I really do. As thankless and as hard as that is, because isn't that what's the saying? It's kind of like the crabs in a barrel mentality, where somebody tries to do something, good, or break away from the pack, get out of the mess. And everybody's like, no, you can't do that. Shut up. What are you talking about? No, you can't. No. You got to get back down here and be miserable with all the rest of us who are miserable. So, you know, let's not do that all the time to people, right? I know the predicament is bad. I know the situation is bad. You know, politically, climate wise, and in all kinds of ways, the situation is bad. But, you know, let's not gun down everybody who's trying to make it out of the prison while they're going over the fence. Okay. Let's not do that. Because those people might be just trying to show you a way out of the prison. And then when they make it out, all of a sudden everybody's going to be like, oh, what? Psh, I knew he could make it, right? All the people that were like, let's mess him up before he even gets to the fence, right? All the people that were, that's a stupid idea. Don't do that. You're going to get us all killed. Right? And they find a way out, and you're like, yeah. I knew he could do it. Everybody, let's go this way. Right? Isn't that how humans operate? That's literally how we operate. So I do point out the direness of the situation. But we can talk about, it's okay. It's okay to talk about solutions. It's okay to try and look for a way out. It's okay to try and make an effort. It's okay to try and get politically involved. It's okay to try to organize some people. It's okay. We are racial trash. Karl Marx said that. Things do look bad. Things do look dire, but it ain't over till it's over. And, probably deciding that it's over 10 years or 20 years before the fact might not be the best idea. Anyways, we were talking about California. California declares state of emergency in 13 counties because we got walloped. Excuse me. Whacked, wasted, just whipped, I guess you could say. We got whipped. We got whipped by some winds last night, too. I've been seeing a lot of trees go down. And we are, in the midst of the early stages of, pretty large amounts of weather whiplash. Because of the things that we're doing to the jet stream and other things on the planet. So some places have received more than 100 inches of snow. I'm not going to spend too long on this. Many parts of the state were buried under a significant amount of snow in recent days. Yes. Does that mean that the drought is over? Not so fast. Not so fast. Does it help? Sure. But a lot of people are digging out of unseasonably cold weather and more extreme weather is what it should rightfully be called, extreme weather. Because that's not to say that this has never happened before. I'm just saying we're seeing. I think it's pretty obvious to people that we're seeing a lot of extremes. Case in point. So while California is getting buried in snow, this is from yesterday. 104 degrees in Texas at Falcon Lake. If you want some examples of weather whiplash, extreme weather, wild weather events, this is the earliest 104 Fahrenheit ever recorded in the climatic history of the United States, with even hotter conditions expected tomorrow being today. The earliest 104 degrees, apparently, in climatic history. 105 now at Falcon Lake. Even hotter conditions expected. So let's see. With proper the phone winds, or phone winds, however you conditions, Mexico could even hit temperatures above 110, as high as 112. So while people that might be buried under a lot of snow are saying, "Where's the climate change, bro?" In Texas, they're like, "It's right here. It's over here." The global warming you're talking about? Global warming. You're talking about global warming. This is the earliest this has been 104 degrees. It's hot AF over here. Obsolete Optics says solutions: guillotine the billionaires, gas the fash, burn the pigs, vacate the state, drown the fossil fuel industry executives and all the oil they have spilled. Exactly. Creative experiments. Solar minimum in California, solar maximum in Texas. Right. So, if you think your local weather is dictating, your thoughts on climate change or global warming or whatever you want to call it, perhaps you should widen your lens and look out and beyond. But that's pretty amazing, isn't it? This is a I don't know. This is a random kind of weird tweet that I saw. Somebody talking about in 2050 we are either going to be 8 billion losers or 8 billion winners. This is Martin GQ. He says regeneration is crucial for the survival of our planet, and the actions we take today will determine regeneration. Well, I don't know. I think he means regenerating what? The water cycle, the biosphere in general. I don't know exactly what he means, but he's right. 2050, we're going to know. We're going to know which way it went by 2050. We're not going to have to wait super long to find out. Right? Whether we did the bad or the good. Anyways, let's listen to what Martin GQ has to say.
What cost? Consider the possibility that the root cause for the situation that we're in is the disregard for the other. We're not designing for everybody winning. Maybe the solution is that everybody gotta win. Everybody. No one left behind. If we were to put ourselves in the future, standing in 2050, and everybody has won, every single human being has won, and all life has won, what actions have we taken today?
Okay, so I don't know. They're advertising some kind of some kind of, like, seminar, or I don't know seminar is such an old school word, such a 70s word, seminar, conference on, solutions and whatnot. And this one is March 23rd. But I don't know exactly what he means, but I want, when he says everybody wins, he kind of says and all life after the part about all the humans winning. I say you got to start with the other part first, right? If you're talking about everybody winning, you got to include all the rest of the life on the planet first, like, and hopefully humans can fit in there somewhere. Because if the rest of the life on the planet doesn't win or succeed at a major level, then there's not going to be a lot of. Then we're going to have the 8 billion losers he's talking about on 2050. So just to shoot that out there into the universe, and hopefully he'll catch that. Oceanic State says everybody can't win. This is thermodynamics 101. Right. Well, and I guess you also gotta convince the people that are like the people that operate on psychopathic lizard brain level, right? Where it's, I got to get mine. F all them. And those are the people that are in charge, right? Those are the people that run the show. So you got to, I don't know. You could have rooms full of people and everybody going, yeah, that sounds great, bro. That sounds really good. But until you convince those other people or get them out of the picture, push them off the island or onto an island somewhere else, until you get rid of those people, there's not much you can say. So I don't know. Creative Experiment says save seafood first, then humans. I like the chats. I'm loving the suggestions in the chats. Thank you. What's up, Rockmanners? I see you. Basil Peterson says American exceptionalism is incompatible with that concept. Well, yeah. A lot of how we live, a lot of our current, shared paradigm is incompatible with that concept, for sure. For sure. And it's unfortunate because everybody, the idea that everybody has, or the idea that some people have about everybody winning is everybody having all the stuff that we have in the U.S. Right? How everybody living like people do in California, or anywhere else, or Missouri, or Florida, right? And that's just not the model. That's a bad model. That is a bad model. I just saw a chart. Just another chart floating along on the internet about emissions or whatnot, and the biggest emissions per capita are from the United States, from people that live in the United States. Biggest emissions per capita. So if the model is everybody living like they do in the West, or specifically the U.S., that is the wrong model. That is a broken model. That is a bad model. That is a suicidal or homicidal or omnicidal model, right? Right. D-Truth. How come those who claim to want to save the planet blew up a pipeline and released thousands of tons of methane? Not to mention the vinyl chloride and the dioxins. Not to mention all that other stuff too. Right? G. Demarest, that's interesting. I was just talking about doctors last night. A successful doctor is never about healing, always about money. Well, if success equals money, and that's, maybe that's maybe that's a problem with the language. A successful doctor is a doctor that heals, right? Doctor equals healing if they are successful. But if success equals money, right? If being a doctor means being wealthy and not healing, well then yes, success equals money. Nadia says blowing up the Nord Stream 2 pipeline was the keystone program of Build Back Better. You got to blow it up first before you build it back, right? Yeah. Yep. G. Demarest USA has the largest historical set of emissions. Yeah. Anyways. I Rose says doing nothing but doing more wars, more artillery, more tank, more aggro equals pharma products, more green energy products, and yes, more chemical. Nothing about being. Okay. Fair. Think I remember a line from a poem about stop being a human doing and start being a human being or something like that. I don't know. But let's talk about um let's talk about I don't know if this is real or not. Did you hear that Jimmy Dore is actually considering running for president? Is this I mean, I don't know if this is a confirmed, but somebody's got to do something. Somebody's got to do something to stem the tide, right? Because if we just, we're just leaving the lane wide open for the people that already control the show to control it a little more, right? So you gotta I know it feels like a flood, but somebody's got to get in there and put their body in there and try and stem the tide. Trey Gowdy or Groudy, I don't know. Anyways, that's an interesting Dore Rogan 24. That's an interesting. Yes, that's an interesting ticket. I don't know. This is from Nick Brana. I don't care. Whatever. Everybody's got. I don't know about the People Party, but not a supporter or a detractor. I don't know. Anyways, I find this. I think this is interesting. Honestly. Honestly, I think this is a very interesting idea, and I hope he does it. Just if for anything, if for anything other than just expanding the realm of ideas that will be people will be able to talk about, right? Is Jimmy Dore a perfect person or have the perfect policies on every single thing? No, but he's way, way closer to being a better candidate than a lot of people I can think of. So, Anyways, he says, huge Dore 24 update. Right before the Rage Against the War rally, Jimmy Dore told me he was going to run for president of the United States. People are ready and desperate for an honest, unbought candidate that unites the working class and people that span the entire left-right political spectrum based on shared values and a common enemy, the oligarchy. And that's, I like Jimmy Dore. I'm not, I'm pretty forward about. I like Jimmy Dore's, politics and what he stands for and, what he has to say. Pretty much across the board. There are things I can nitpick with him about, but I'm not. There's no reason to, like, if somebody's, 80% right on the money, right? As opposed to all the other people who are, working in the 30, 40, 50% range or even less, or how about the 5 or 10% range, then I'm going to go with the guy that's 80% on the money and not, freak out on the 20% or 10% I don't like. I don't know. Again, guys, yeah, and people have their opinions and that's fine. Just as I said in the beginning of the show, if you're in a prison and somebody's like, I'm going to make a break for it, maybe don't shoot them before they get to the gate, to the fence on your own accord. Why not let them take the hits for you? Right? Make it try. I don't know. If you believe that they are doing the work, doing good work. I don't know. Anyways, people are ready and desperate for an honest, unbought candidate that unites the working class and people that span the entire left-right political spectrum. I mean, I can already see people everywhere will denounce this, will laugh at this, will tell you why it's not going to, he sucks, or he's not the right guy, or he doesn't know enough, or he's not politically savvy enough, or I can already hear literally the entire, alternative media landscape just do a big like boo on this, right? And anyways, hey, do you boo boo? If Jimmy Dore is the only, bright spot on the horizon, sure. I'd ride the bus. I'd get on the bus. Anyways, I was incredibly proud. He said he wanted to announce it soon after the rally. I was incredibly proud of him. He was finally answering the call of thousands of people who have cheered for him to run at every live stream and stand-up show across the country since last summer. He was recognizing his unique ability to bring left and right together to stop this war, get health care for all, and homelessness and raise wages. Golly, sounds like a pretty solid left-wing populist standpoint. He was recognizing his unique... I read that. He was putting the people of this country before himself like a great leader. It was going to be bigger than Bernie 2016, a real revolution. But then Jimmy's wife, Steph Zamorano, who I've known for years and loved, told him that she would rather he not run. But Jimmy also said that maybe they could be convinced and he could justify running if he could think of something positive and concrete that would come out of him running. Oh, so he's saying they need to hear from you. He said he was thinking about it. But anyways, Matt Orfalea said, I say do it for the comedy, have fun with it, make comedy history, and maybe U.S. history in the process. I don't, maybe. Maybe. I don't, I would rather not see somebody make a joke. I mean, I'd rather not see somebody make a joke out of running for president. Like, if you're going to run, make it real, right? Don't do it as a joke. Don't do it like a ha ha ha, got you. Don't do that. Do not do that. So I'm gonna have to disagree with Matt Orfalea on that one. Do not do that, because if you wanna really make people feel like they don't have anything to put their hopes in, because that's the problem. People are really discouraged right now. People are depressed. People don't have faith in anything. They don't believe in anyone or anything. I mean, now if you want to do it as a just see, we'll just see what happens, because that is what Trump did. I'll just see what happens. We'll see how this goes. But I think this would be cool. I'm for it. I'm all for it. I hope that Jimmy Dore does it. And look at this. Matt Orfalea puts out a poll about Medicare for all. Look at what people want. People want socialism. People want good things for everyone, right? People want socialism. People do not want. And granted, maybe Matt's audience is more lefty than righty, but I think he's basically he's indie, independent. All kinds of people like him. Anyways, good idea. 68, almost 70% of people said Medicare for all is a good idea. Because it is. Because it's a really good idea. Because people want health care. People want free health care. People want to be taken care of. Anyways. I mean, at least I don't think that Jimmy Dore would fight for Medicare for all, and I don't think that he wouldn't, he might crumble, but it might be a lot of pressure, but he wouldn't turn around and say, well, vote for that guy, because, in the end, right? Vote for the Democrat because, Trump bad or something. He wouldn't end up doing stuff like that. But people like social programs. People like Medicare. People like Social Security. People like health care. People like unions. People like getting paid what their time is worth. Right? People like taxing the wealthy. People like, right? That stuff. People like that stuff. But the powerful in the media have done a really good job convincing a lot of people that they shouldn't like that stuff because reasons. Mm-hmm. And so over the last, 30, 40, 50 years, that all that stuff that people used to have or get or expect has been slowly chipped away. Until now we're down to the very ragged, bare threads of Medicare and Social Security, and they're going to take that away too, right? Didn't George Carlin say that? They'll take that too. They'll take that too, and you will let them. You will vote for the guy that will take it away from you because you will be convinced that the government should not run healthcare. The government shouldn't be involved in giving you anything good because that would be bad, right? Government should not give you anything good because that's bad because it's government, right? They've got everybody convinced of that. And again, Let me just point out. How much of even the alternative media groups are trying to tell you the exact same thing. And so you will go along with that. You will vote for that or not vote for that willingly. You will just clear the lane for the people in control of everything to take more control of everything and to take more stuff away from you. You'll just clear the lane for them. You'll be like, I can't do anything about it. Government bad. Anyways. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate you. Y'all are awesome. All right. Got a got a tip on Rockfin. Super Ray from Basil Peterson. Thank you so much, sir. Brana was on Hinkle's show and said yes, Jimmy was considering, but we got to convince Steph. All right. You know what? Hell, I'll throw a super chat at Jimmy Dore in the next show, and I'll say Dore for Prez. I'll do it. And I'll say, you know, God damn it, Jimmy Dore, you should run for president. Steph, you should support that. Say it here now, and I'll say it later, and I'll say it again. I know everybody will be, not everybody, but some people will disagree, but that's fine. Dash fine. Oh, I forgot to tell you, the good way to support the show, as we're talking about tips, is buymeacoffee.com/blackbearnews. It's a really great way to support the show, and you know, appreciate everybody who does support me there. Also, Rockfin tips are greatly appreciated. YouTube tips are greatly appreciated. God, accept super chats there. And Venmo, Cash App, as you know, in the description box. All right, got a couple of things to cover in the last part of the show. And, you know, I'm opening up the phone lines. If somebody wants to call in, feel free now. Dore is a socialist, yeah. Dore is a socialist. That's partly why I like him. I missed Brady was trying to call in earlier, and sorry I missed your call, Brady. Brady said Jimmy is easily corruptible but easily replaceable. Okay. Sounds like an enablist psyop. I don't know what that was regarding. Doctor who heal too much, get fired, or die mysteriously. Yes. You're doing something now, Brady? Okay, good. Well, I'm sorry we lost you. I think Brady didn't want to stick around for the end of the show or something. All right. Basil Peterson says the media will have you love those that enslave you and hate those that want to free you. Malcolm X. Ding. There was a really good video someone put out, and it was just a cut, like a super cut to one of Malcolm X's speeches, and the speech is great and sounds, pretty much describing identically what is going on now as far as the people that claim to want to help you and be on your side actually being on the side of continuing to enslave you. So there's that. There is that. Speaking of enslavement, I've seen this about Lula. Well, hold on. We'll go back. We're going to go back a little bit. Oh, this is something that I really wanted to play. And this is about doing something. I wish I would have played this earlier in the show because I don't know, for whatever reason. Looks like there's less people watching now, but I'll play this and hopefully y'all come back and watch this. This is a really great video. And this is tweeted or retweeted by Lucky Burrito. She says, "Be like Hannah. This is what I wish people in indie media would do. Have some integrity." Oh, is she calling out indie media for having some integrity? Okay. Let's listen to this. This is pretty good.
I'm not 100% sure why I'm being asked to share this story, but I'm guessing it's because somebody needs to hear it. When I was 16, I went into what I thought was going to be a normal day at I'm not 100% sure why I'm being asked to share this story, but I'm guessing it's because somebody needs to hear it. When I was 16, I went into what I thought was going to be a normal day at biology class. And when I walked in, all the desks were arranged in a circle in the middle of the room. And the instructor, who had always been a really amazing, loving, kind instructor, was super militant, super scary, and just looked at us and said, "Sit down, shut up. You are not allowed to move, to speak at all, and anyone who does will immediately fail my class." And we were all stunned. I get like, just thinking about it, because I was a straight A student and grades were really important to me, and I was just like terrified. So we're all sitting there silently, nervous out of our minds, and in the middle of this circle that we were all sitting in, there was one desk, and on this desk was a bowl with a goldfish in it. And he looked at us, and he took the goldfish, and he put it on the desk, and he walked out, and he shut the door. And we all just looked at each other, just like, what do we do? Like, obviously it violated, like, everything inside of me to, like, watch this fish die. And also, I heard the instruction. If you speak, if you get up, if you move, you will automatically fail the class. And so we all sat there looking to each other to do something because we didn't want it to be us. And what was a very painful, it felt like an eternity, it was probably like 2.5 minutes later, Hannah B, got up and said, "Fuck this," and took the goldfish and put it back in the bowl. And when she did that, he came out, and he looked at all of us, and he said, "Look what the world has done to you. You've betrayed yourself. For what?" And I think about that lesson all the time, because I learned in that moment that I am never going to be that person ever again. That when I see something that is wrong, even if it's just me, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to do what's right. And I've done that over and over again in my life in very scary situations. But I'm sad for people who haven't learned that lesson, because there are so many things that are wrong that if you're too scared to make a difference, you won't make right.
All right. So I thought that was good. And you're right, D-Truth, it was a test. It was a test, right? I don't want to I don't want to go against what this authority says to me. My teacher, I don't want to lose a good grade. I don't want to lose my stature, my comfort, my reward, my standing, my privilege, whatever it might be. And I might just do the wrong thing, or I might just look askance at some injustice because nobody else is doing something. I'm afraid. I don't want to do it. So, I don't know. But I mean that video is kind of what, I guess is what the show has been about. I find it actually interesting that a lot of people have dropped off this stream. Anyways, I'm not saying anything about you, but you are. You're saying something about you. Everybody wanted to come here and hear me just talk about some doomy climate change news and how we're all screwed. And I was talking about maybe we don't cut people off at the knees who are trying to find a way out, a way past the fence, or a way out of the prison. And those that have stayed, I appreciate you. Yeah, Kameshwari, Kate. Those of you who have hung out, thank you. I really appreciate you guys. But I just, I noticed a lot of people dropped out of the stream about midway through because they're like, oh, no climate doom porn today. Okay. Alrighty. But thank you all for those that hung out. Thank you. And I appreciate you. And that's the point of this show, I think. And the point of the thing I was trying to say. I'll take this call, and we'll see what's going on. Who is this? Alexi? How you doing?
Hey, yeah, sorry, I'm not sure if you remember me. I called like a while back.
Yeah.
Russian guy. Yeah, I kind of was brainstorming. Sorry, I don't even know what the show you were talking about, but just wanted to run an idea by you. Not that I'm dismissing, your point.
Okay.
But it's kind of like epiphany moment, wanted to see what you think. You know how like right now there's like gender dysphoria, right? And people like can't agree on anything in Congress, right?
Okay, I'll go with you on this one. I don't know where you're going, but yeah.
Well, basically there's misunderstanding, depression, and people are not comfortable in their own bodies, sort of. They're basically
sure.
sort of out of sync with themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so my theory is that kind of religious thing here, that like we all have like a piece of God in us, basically like a little particle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know how like the body and mind kind of, what is it, duality, whatever?
Yes.
Yeah, so like we're getting basically detached, like our thoughts from our bodies, and also thoughts between people. Like we can't communicate. Like a lot of times people won't even state kind of facts, arguments behind their opinion. They'll just state their opinion, and they'll get mad, if you disagree.
Right.
Like they can't discuss anything.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's like, it's basically because it's like mutually reinforcing stuff. It's basically the further away we get from the truth, the less comfortable we are. Like as kind of species, that body mind connection.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it's like getting kind of progressively worse, as time goes on. And I think that's kind of how the Soviet Union collapsed because, communism, they had that idea in their head.
Yeah.
And through propaganda, like the Goebbels said, if you say a lie, enough times, people will believe it.
Right.
So
exactly. Right.
So I think the same thing is going on right now here in the U.S. They're probably gonna crash the country.
I mean, it seems it seems that is the intent, right? Because
Yeah. Well, because like I don't know, there's like like an ancient Greek proverb, like um, society is progressing when like men plant trees, the shade of which they'll never see. Basically for their kids, that they improve the world not for themselves but for their kids,
right.
future generations.
Mm-hmm.
Well, right now we have like a fucking huge debt. It's like we are the only country, like one of the like top countries, like technology wise, income. Our um, lifespan is dropping actually right now, like the
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
average
Right.
lifespan.
Yeah. Yep.
So
That's true.
and education is going to shit. It's like because people like basically if you don't teach people how to logically think, right, you can't teach them anything if they can't build a train of thought.
Right.
So I think, yeah, I thought it was maybe just like a culture thing, Republicans, Democrats, and then they'll start getting back together, sort of. But yeah, no, I think it will just actually keep going, and it'll crash.
Well, it will. I think it will if people stay divided and
Well, I mean,
as
how
you say,
would they-
as you say, depressed, and
Yeah,
not
I mean,
able
it's-
not able to really like think. And I think I don't know. If you can't think your way into even the state of thinking about a solution or thinking about what should I do, what do I want to do, and I think
Yeah.
and again, I'm not saying that people aren't doing the best that they can, and there are plenty of people out there,
Well,
really
yeah.
working on solutions or working on organizing or
Yeah,
working on trying to do
that's
stuff.
another
But a
thing,
lot of
and-
people are being told. A lot of people feel dejected, depressed, and that they can't do anything. And a lot of people are being told that you shouldn't do anything, and that's a weird message.
Well,
to me.
depression. The origin of depression is if you're in a situation that you're not comfortable with and you don't know how to get out of it, right?
Right.
Like if you
Right.
have an exit, you get out, and
Exactly. And on some levels, that's called, in order to be in a space where you can think your way out, that's actually called having some hope. I'm sorry for the people that are anti-hopium or super doomers. Always got to
Well,
be
hope,
doom
yeah,
all
it's
the time. But
basically-
like you
it's-
have to have a little bit of hope in your heart.
well, yeah,
that, like,
exactly. See,
oh,
hope
there-
is basically expectation of a better future, right?
right.
And if you're cornered, if you have no exit and you're in a bad spot, your future is bad, like because you're stuck in that spot, and it can only get worse.
Right, and so will the depression. And if there's no hope, no chance, no out, no way to go,
Yeah.
then that's
And you get angry, you stop listening
and,
to people.
and then that's when despair sets in, right?
Yeah, despair. Well, depression and despair, I think it's kind of similar, right?
Sure.
And I think it's basically the fight or flight reflex, sort of. Because when you're in a dangerous situation, you try to run away, and you don't even know where you're going. You have like blinders on.
Right.
You don't look for solutions. You don't look for an exit because it's like you're panicked,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and like
Absolutely.
sort of also like if someone disagrees with you because like you're panicked, you can't like switch your brain into like analytical mode. You're stuck like with your your existing
Yes.
kind of opinions,
Right.
sort of.
Right.
Yeah, it's really it's very difficult to explain the whole concept altogether because I had to read like religious stuff and philosophy, like all the not all.
Oh, you broke up there a little, Alexi. You still there?
Yeah, sorry, I had a call for a second.
Oh, it's
But yeah, I was just basically how like in Renaissance era, like all the scientists, they studied like, they painted, they studied physics,
Yeah.
like they did like multiple stuff. And now we have this like conveyor production sort of where you specialize in one area
Right.
and that's all you do.
Exactly.
Like you don't
Exactly.
see the bigger picture. It's like those like Oppenheimer and stuff, those scientists, they didn't understand what the fuck they were doing, until the very end, and they saw those nukes go off.
Right. Right.
Like they didn't have time to think about it. And
Yeah.
now like with work, how like a lot of people like work even in the off hours, like they don't give you any time to reflect.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Absolutely
I
right.
kinda
No, well,
dumped-
thank you,
dumped
Alexi, for the call. I appreciate it. No, those are all really, really great points. I
Yeah, so
actually,
I think-
actually have to end my show now, but
Yeah.
but
But I was just saying,
Yeah.
talking to each other and listening is the only solution.
yep, I think so. Communication is a
Yeah.
is a
Well, thank
foundation,
you.
right? But thank you so much. Take it easy, Lexi.
You too.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for listening, and appreciate all the supporters of the show. And yeah, I thought so too. Osama, I thought it was a great call. All right, guys. I will see you all tomorrow at the regular time of 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And until next time, peace.